So we have 4 different containers of different materials. So this first one is just water. The second one is corn syrup. So you can see that it flows slowly. For those of you that maybe don't know, this is where I got it, corn syrup. Then I have oil. This is the oil I'm using today. Extra virgin olive oil. And this one here is rubbing alcohol. So rubbing alcohol we often use for cleaning. And so this is what I have. I know often I will clean my ears, my pierced ears, before I put new earrings in. It also says it reduces muscle stiffness. And so it's used oftentimes for a cleaner, especially if you have an injury of some form. So what you are asked to do is to predict the density rating. So to tell me which one you think is going to be the most dense, or the one that's going to sit in the bottom of my cup, and the least dense, which is going to sit at the top of my cup. So if you have not already rated these on your sheet, please take a moment, press pause, and do that. So now that you have them rated, I'm going to pour each of these items into my cup, and I'm going to pour them in order, and we're going to see where they end up. So I'm going to pour the water in first, and since it's the only thing, we will see that the water is there on the bottom. And actually, because I'm thinking about clear, and clear is going to be a little challenging, I'm just going to add a single drop of blue there. I'm going to give it a little bit of a swirl so that we can see where the water's located. So there's the water. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pour in the corn syrup, or at least some of it, because it might take a while. And so we're going to see where that corn syrup ends up in relation to the water. Now it's important, I'm not going to stir these. I'm only looking to see where they end up. So corn syrup is sometimes used on pancakes. It tends to be a lot sweeter than the pancake syrup. So if you look real closely here, you can actually see that we have 2 different layers happening. We have the water on the top and our corn syrup on the bottom. Next, I'm going to pour my oil in. I might just pour it down the side. So next we have our oil, and our oil ended up sitting on top of the water. And the last thing we're going to pour in is the rubbing alcohol. And I'm going to get you guys a better view here. So you can see that the rubbing alcohol actually ended up on top of the oil. So when we're talking about density, we can see that we have 4 liquids with 4 different densities going on. Our corn syrup is at the bottom. It is the heaviest or the most dense. Then we have our water. Then we have the oil, where we have that level of oil. And then at the top we have our rubbing alcohol. And so these will actually stay like this unless I mix them up. So if I start mixing it, they will start to mix together. But then if I let it sit, it will eventually go back to this exact same setup if I let it sit for long enough.